I'm really excited to introduce Mary McCarthy. She is a wellness professional, receiving her bachelor's in exercise science and health promotion from that other university in Iowa, and also holds a master's of public health from the University of Wisconsin. And she is very engrossed in the wellness business, having her own Resilience and Grace owner of and teaches yoga and meditation classes, and specializes in mindfulness and stress management and resilience, and combines that expertise and passion to create uplifting training experiences and promote well-being and personal growth. She is coming to us today to talk to us about the benefits in the Employee Assistant Program that we have as members of the Iowa State community. And there she serves as the business manager at Employee and Family Resources and supports the account management team and education and workplace services to support our own emotional and health and well-being. So we're really excited to have her with us today, and I will turn it over to Mary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello to all of you. What a nice introduction, and it is my pleasure to really be here today. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what we are going to talk about, and you're in the right space to know that we are talking about your EAP benefits. So as we begin, I like to really have you reflect for a moment what is causing stress in your life today. And as you think about this, it is because we know that each of us as individuals come to our day, our work, our life with different perspectives, different life experiences. And as you're listening to the support that you have with your EAP benefit, you may be interested in engaging in one of them, or even sharing or suggesting this to a household member or someone you work with. Because we know when you come to work, you are coming with a lot of feelings. You are an emotional being, and your thoughts are filled with, work, life concerns. Maybe you're struggling or dealing with some grief and some loss. You're parenting. You have some legal, financial worries. We call this our invisible suitcase because we know that this is the dialogue that's happening in the background, whether we want to admit it or not. And this really prevents us from being fully present in our job. So because presenteeism is an important thing to consider in the workplace, we want to help individuals, and this is why this is an employer benefit, is to really help individuals show up and be the best that they can be and care about them, knowing that they have these things that are going on in life. So we're going to address that because as someone who is here on this planet, we know it's not if you're ever going to need one of these services, but truly when. And so if you look on this life journey, you can identify whether you yourself or someone you know might be in one of these stages. For example, for our new employees that are recently graduating, have their first job, want to buy a house or start to budget with a new paycheck, they might want to engage in financial consultation and help set up a budget. Or as you move into being married and having kids, looking for childcare and not knowing what resources are available. So you would call us to engage in our childcare resources. Maybe you're in a stage of your career and you're really wanting to learn more about your communication style, help with that work-life balance, maybe with learning more about your personality trait and how you work with others. You might engage with a life coach. Possibly you are realizing you don't have a living will, and as you want to work with an attorney for free and get that set up, these resources are all available to you. And so it truly is not if you'll ever need them, but when could you engage in these services. because mental health is just as important as our physical health. This is a great time to talk about these benefits because it's a new year. And for a lot of folks in social media and around the conversation is, what is your New Year's resolution? And this is typically a conversation about action of what we're going to do for ourselves to be better. We think about things, we want to make some improvements, and a lot of them is around physical health. Maybe I want to get more physical activity in. I'm going to go to the doctor this year. I'm going to work on getting off my phone at night so that I can get better sleep. And we want to really address what are the things around our mental health as well. Do we need to add more breaks into our day? Are there some ways to get outside? How can we take care of our mental health? So if you take away anything today, there's a slide now, and there's a slide at the very end of our presentation that I want you to remember that life happens and we're here to help. I highly encourage you to put this phone number in your phone as your contact for emergencies, for mental health emergencies, or for any services for yourself or anyone in your household. Because many of us are not going to memorize this number, and we're probably going to forget, where do we get this number at? But if you could put it in your phone, then you can remember it for yourself. And when you're having those conversations with your children, your spouse, or your colleague, you can share that number with them. This phone number is answered 24/7, 365. And we want you to know that you do not have to ever try to memorize what the benefits are. All you have to do is call. We will know how and what benefits are available to you so you can ask questions. You can get support in the moment. And you can talk to someone as long as you need to get that in the moment support, because our phones are answered by master level counselors. And that's their job, is to really be there to help you. So let's start with the basics. I'd like to remind you that this is at no cost to you because it's an employer benefit. Every one of you who is an employee, whether you are full-time, part-time, or seasonal, receive these benefits. This is a benefit that's unique because it's not only for the benefit eligible employees, it's for everyone. And all you have to do is when you call in our 800 number is say, I'm an employee of Iowa State University. And that's the same for any household member. Even if you have a child that is going away to college and is currently not living in your home, but is one of your dependents, they receive all of these benefits that I'm here to share with you today. And it is confidential to the full extent of the law. When we share numbers with your employer, it is to the benefit team, and all they receive are tallies. How many people, whether it's an employee or a family member, have engaged in these resources? They don't know your name. They don't know what department you're in. They don't even know when you called. That information is all wiped clean. So I shared with you already that you can call at any time. It's a wonderful way to get help with crisis, consultation, and intervention. So if you know that you're really struggling, or you have a family member that's struggling and you don't know what to do, you can call us and we're here to help. Many people associate EAP with counseling only, and that is how this was created many years ago. This was to let people know that they could do in-person counseling sessions. Because of COVID, of course, it became much more common to now offer virtual sessions, and this really allows people to have the freedom to meet with someone when it's convenient for them. At Iowa State University, there's always also someone that comes for a full day every week so that you could see someone in person. You do have 6 sessions available to you, and how you want to think about EAP counseling is different than therapy or treatment. When you call in, what it looks like is you'll get a full assessment. The counselor will really listen to you, try to understand the entire situation, and then offer some brief counseling before it is determined if a referral is necessary or requested. Here's an image for you. Think about going snorkeling versus scuba diving. When you snorkel, all you have is a mask. It can be bought anywhere. And you don't need a lot of training to use it. You put it on, you go under the surface of the water, and it keeps you afloat so that you can sort of dive in and see what is under the surface of the water. Now, when you snorkel, this takes a lot more education, takes a lot of training. You've got to have a lot of tools to help you dive deep. So we like to think about snorkeling like EAP counseling. We're going to get under the surface just a little bit. We're going to help you understand if a referral is necessary for long-term therapy or treatment. And we're going to help you with some tools to keep you going. Therapy and treatment is when you really dive in and understand and work with a trained professional that might have additional tools to help with your mental health condition. So that's a good way for you to think about what's the difference between EAP counseling and therapy. Now, we also provide life coaching. This is such a wonderful tool for individuals who maybe don't want counseling, but do want to work with someone. We have a group of board certified life coaches that offer support. Again, it's 6 sessions. You get 6 hourly sessions with a life coach, and you're in the driver's seat. You can work with them on a variety of skills to help you. And I love thinking about this. I have a high schooler, and it goes to a really large school, and so he doesn't always have a lot of opportunity to meet with his guidance counselor. He's able to meet with a life coach and really talk about what is next for him. What are his strengths? What might he consider? So these are great things for us to even use with our kids as we're thinking about what's the next stage in life. In addition to our life coaching, we partner with first responder coaches. These are for all of our folks who are in that first responder line of work, whether it is an ER or a trauma nurse or a police officer. Here's an image of a firefighter. We want you to know that we understand that there is unique situations that come up, and you are able to work with someone in the first responder community who's been there, who gets it, who can help you. And all you have to do is call our 800 number if you are one of those first responders and get some help. Then, when you think about another way to engage with mental health resources, is our online community called Together All. This is a 24/7 anonymous peer support community available for you to engage in. It can allow someone to communicate and ask questions in a very safe environment that is monitored by a counselor so that there's no bullying, there's no hate speech. These are for anyone over the age of 16 because of some of the conversations that are occurring. The people are trying to ask for help. Has anyone, had this situation? And what's great about it is you think of it kind of like that social media group. Other people are responding as well. Now, other things about Together All is there's some free assessments. There are free online courses that you can go at your own pace. And there's a wonderful slew of articles, all related to mental health and well-being. So it's a great resource when you're trying to find something instead of just Googling, hey, tell me about this. It's been curated and you can find it easily. I shared with you on that life journey some of the additional resources that are outside of that mental health support. Now, I would argue that legal and financial consultations are also mental health support because it can cause us a lot of stress when we're trying to figure things out. And you have the ability to work with an attorney for 30 minutes on any topic to get some help. And when you go to our website, I'm going to share with you that there is a username and password that if you just type in EFR and EFR, you have access to forms and worksheets so that if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can go there, fill out the information and show up fully prepared or to the best of your ability with things for you to consult on, whether it's legal or financial. So when you think about why would I call and ask for financial consultation, maybe you're wanting to help with debt management, some budgeting, or even that retirement readiness. So a lot of wonderful ways to engage. Again, it's not if, but when. Child care and elder care resources are available for those of you who may have a parent living in another state and you don't really know where to go, or maybe you've just moved to an area and you don't have a good lay of the land of where you could send your kid to childcare. And so know that because this is a stressful time for people, you can call our 800 number and our counselors will assist you. And the last thing to really share with you from a service perspective is identity theft recovery. Now, we're not in the business to prevent your identity from being stolen, but we are in the business to help you if it has been. And so we will connect you to a highly trained fraud resolution specialist to help walk you through step by step in case that were to happen. Because we know that it will take time and money to restore your identity and put you back in that good credit standing. So whenever you are stressed, please don't forget to call us at EFR. I'm going to pause here and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and just offer an opportunity to answer any questions about those particular services. All right. Well, then we will keep going. And
I have a question.
okay.
Um, I understand about all this being confidential and anonymous and that. And my question has to do with if I was to access website like Together All or something using university equipment, is that subject to someone asking to see that information because I'm an employee, a public employee?
No, I don't believe so. Because once you get into the Together All platform, all of that is anonymous and you are within their workings of a website. Maybe someone else there on site wants to answer that better, but from my understanding, that is not tracked.
I would agree with Marion, since it's not tracked in her. Theoretically, we could determine that your computer went to her website. We wouldn't know what you did there.
Yeah. Or if it was me using my computer, but that's what I was, okay.
So you mentioned about having 30 minutes of consultation for the legal aspects. Is that per episode or per event? I mean, 30 minutes for somebody that needs help with like doing wills or living wills or other legal issues. 30 minutes doesn't go very long.
Yeah.
What's the qualifiers on that?
I really appreciate that. Yes, that is per issue. So if you wanted, this is how people can kind of work with a living will and get it done for free, is they'll go into the website, they'll fill out all of the information, have it as ready as much as they can, consult with that attorney, have them look it over. The attorney will then tell you what else you need within those 30 minutes. And then you have this form that you can go get notarized somewhere and have a will. If you have something that takes more time than the 30 minutes, you can retain the attorney if you like them at a 25% discount. So if you, let's say you wanted to create a will, that would be a unique situation. And then later down in the year, you want to ask for some advice because you want to purchase a rental property. So you might have some high-level questions before you dig in deeper. So that would be a different instance. And then let's say still later on, you are filing for divorce with your spouse. That is another instance. So each of those are different, and you can call and work with an attorney as many times. What I would also say to that is, to all of our attorneys and counselors and financial consultants, you want to think of them as generalists. So as people are calling in, for example, for counseling or for legal help, you're not able to ask specifically for, hey, is someone, really skilled in working with veterans? Or is someone really skilled in working in family law? The work of EFR and the affiliates that we work with are all considered generalists, so that if they need to dig in deeper, they're going to help you with some referrals or get you to the right resources. Does that help answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I chose to put this next slide up for you to be aware that on our website, we have, just like Togetherall, a lot of other resources like free webinars. We have a podcast. We have a blog. There's a newsletter that you can sign up for with a personal email if you want. And then the newsletter is also sent to the benefits team at ISU, and they tend to disseminate the information. And we have an app that in the next slide, you can use a QR code and download that on your phone. So let's go to that last slide. I highly encourage you to take a picture of this slide with your phone. So those of you in the large conference room, don't be shy. And I'd say pull out your phone and take a picture of this, because this will really get you a lot of the information that you need, including the app. And the app, if you're searching for it on your phone, is titled Employee and Family Resources. And the nice thing about both the website and the app is that you can chat online. So maybe you don't want to pick up the phone because you're not in a location where it's really easy to have some privacy. You're welcome to chat with a counselor using the app on your phone. And you can access our website on your phone. So to your concern, for those of you who are wondering, tracking using an employer provided device, you could use your cell phone and access all of the same things. I'm going to now share with you a website that allows you to see a few resources. So here you're going to see on our website, we do have some upcoming webinars. Where you'll find this is under your, the Connect page. And this is where I was sharing with you all the different resources that you might be curious to learn more about: podcast, blog, webinars. And when you click on the webinar, it will take you to the upcoming webinars, and you can register for them. You might find that they're of interest to you. And the nice thing about it is that all of our webinars are saved on our webinar page. So if you can't make it for any reason, you can watch it at your convenience. And so we have a variety of topics that are there for you to learn. When I was talking about Togetherall, I'd like to play this 1-minute video with the time that we have.
Have you got things on your plate? You're not alone, and everyone is welcome here at Togetherall. Our online community is anonymous, and you can connect with and support others who understand what you are going through. Plus, our licensed mental health professionals help to create a supportive community 24/7. Whether you want to chat with the community, express yourself creatively, Work on more structured things such as self-help courses. Take advantage of all the resources available, such as journaling and goal setting. Or just take some time for yourself. Giving you choice and flexibility. This is your experience. If it's on your mind, it's on Together All. Find out more and join today.
So that is something else that you want to keep in mind and even talk to, that Together all the variety of things that are available. And the last piece is just a quick overview. And I want to just share some of the things I was verbally talking about, but I want you to see it in action. Over here on the side is that chat feature. And so when you click on the button that you understand and accept the conditions and you start chatting right away, you can begin to type and find some support. Then when you hover your mouse over the Your EAP benefits, you can get into some of those more specific things. So let's go to the legal consultation, for example. When you want to learn more about it, you can see all of the reasons why people might want to work with an attorney. And when you want to access some of those forms, you'll click that button, but you're going to come up to this screen that's going to ask for a passcode and a password. This is on your service summary that's provided to you. I also mentioned it verbally. It's EFR. So I want you to know that if you type that in, it is not case sensitive. You can log in. You can save it on your computer if you want. And then once you get in here, you can click on the legal financial, and there are all of the forms and ways for you to navigate the different resources that are there for you to support you. So you get to really look at all of the different ways that you might want some help and access that prior to your meeting. Okay. Now that you've seen some of those things, are there any additional questions? Well, I really appreciate the time and opportunity. First of all, we are very grateful for the partnership with Iowa State University. I have been a part of EFR's team for the past year and a half, and I know there has been a lot of strategy around how do we increase awareness to these benefits. This is such an important benefit that Iowa State feels very strongly in providing their employees, and their household members. And so this is such a wonderful thing for you to have spent the time to learn and to remember. And so my best suggestion to you is not only to have that phone number in your own phone, but when you're talking to your colleagues or when you are seeing someone stressed, remind them that you have this free resource. Or if you're a people leader, remind your direct reports, hey, I can tell that you're really struggling, don't forget. And I encourage you to just call the number and see what your own personal experience is. When you can speak from a place of authenticity and direct life experience, we're all more apt to share, whether it's good or bad. And we hope it's good, of course, but we want you to know that we're here to help. So thank you so much. I'll stay on for a little bit longer, but I also am conscious of your time and want to let you get back to your own meeting.
Thank you, Mary. I think we have, did you have a question, Kathy, or were you stretching? Sorry. Thank you for joining us today and giving us some of your time. I know I learned something new today, and I think this is a very important resource that's kind of a secret for a lot of our staff. And I really appreciate all of my colleagues across CALS here joining us today, both online and here in the classroom. So if you have any questions, she's given us information on how we can reach out and discover more about these programs and benefits that we have. So thank you. And we hope to be offering some additional professional development on some of the other benefits within our library and maybe the Student Innovation Center that are beneficial to you all as employees of Iowa State. So thanks, and we will hopefully be in touch soon.
Yes, great. And tell your colleagues across the university, this is a free training. And so if any other department wants to learn about this, let them know. All they have to do is call. Bye.